Hello, everyone. Well, so I've got a group of fine-feathered friends here with me, and we have just finished what we have called the One Wing Challenge. Quite possibly a first annual event.
Definitely not the last.
Not the last.
Definitely one of a kind.
Definitely one of a kind. And so let's just go around the horn and introduce everybody so that they can actually know who they're talking to or listening to, I should say, because nobody's talking back to us. And if they are, they're in their car by themselves.
That's weird.
Which is odd. But
I'm in my car all by myself a lot.
let's start it over here in the corner with the man in a car by himself.
He was all by himself.
Andy Ward, Proficient X, also KXK Dynamics.
Oh, yeah.
Dylan von Kleist, multiple podcast guest, friend of the Rad Company, Rupes, USA.
Aaron Knox, I am the head janitor for KXK Dynamics.
It's nice of you to come here. It's really great.
Oh, I forgot. Everybody knows who you are.
Yeah, they all know who I am. Hi, boys.
I'm Davey P. with Lake Country Pads.
David Patterson with Lake Country Pads.
Hi, Davey P. I'm Jason Killmer. I'm the reason why we have the One Wing Challenge.
That's right.
That's
right.
namesake.
Yeah.
The man of the hour.
Let's move your head so you can,
All right.
or move the arm so we can see your head.
No,
Oh, yeah.
I'm the Phantom, too.
It's kind of weird. Anyway,
Yeah.
so you guys graciously all came up here to hang out with us to do this. We had this crazy idea. You guys did.
Explain. Let's
Well,
give a little
okay, so let's go
backstory
back.
on
So it
this.
goes back to mobile tech. We were talking about you guys coming out and doing something with us. And then we thought, well, April could work. And then Dylan was like, well, April could work. And then David was like, April could work. And we were all like, that could be fun. And then we all went to Serum Summit.
Yep.
And then we all sat and talked and figured out what else could we do in
That's right.
April. With all of us coming out, it is April Fool's. Let's do something crazy.
Yeah.
And then you guys kind of came up with this whole deal.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it started with Anthony and myself talking outside when Aaron was getting weird over
I was doing
by
something
the
weird.
buffet, and Jason was inside.
Getting some meat.
I was stealing chickens.
But we just started throwing around a couple of different options of what exactly we were going to do, and we kind of just built off of what we initially went off of okay, let's go do something definitely with the junkyard because of Jason's background and how heavily embedded he is within the wet sanding community, if not the entire wet sanding community, of the reason why it started. But that just wasn't good enough for us. So we just wanted to take it to the next level, but then also not only pay homage to Jason and all the actual speed bumps that he's overcome in life, and then plus the accolades, but do it and spin it in a way where we could all have fun, but then also make everybody aware of exactly how much of a day in, day out task it is to be able to have a condition like cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
And just get weird.
And then just get
And have fun.
Which is my
And
personal
have fun.
favorite.
And
yeah.
have fun.
Yeah.
Well, and part of that was we started looking at, like, well, what can we do if we do all this stuff? And if we lay it out this way, what are some of the things we can do? And as companies, let's donate some products
Sure, why not?
to the event. And then we had the idea, like, why don't we just raffle everything off and then donate the proceeds to a charity? So now this is for a good cause as well.
Absolutely.
And hopefully we can provide some entertainment to those of you at home that want to watch this and see the craziness, and we can have a lot of fun with it. And I hope it's going to break the internet.
It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be fun. So that was really great because so Dylan donated polishers for you guys to use,
A bunch of them.
a bunch of
A
them.
whole lot.
David donated pads. We donated some towels, some banners, some swag. You also donated a bunch of swag. Dylan's got some swag. And then KXK boys have donated a ton of product. Rid sticks, palm blocks, PR1s, PR2s.
Anything.
I mean,
anything and everything.
yeah.
There's a punch kit in there. Isn't
There
there?
is a punch kit
There's a
too.
punch kit.
Yeah.
So you're going to save money and give to the charity. So that's a great thing.
So we're basically going to be building these kits based on the competitors. So we'll have
And what else did we add?
possibly some prostheses
Possibly.
that were used in the event.
Some bonus
Some
products.
props.
The original props for
Yeah.
the first One Wing Challenge.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Still
So-
And those could be
Yeah.
definitely collector's items.
Oh,
or
they
at least I
will
would
be.
like to
They
think
will
that
be.
they would be collector's
It'll be great
items.
to see him like show up at SEMA, like if someone like
And
like
we all
a
sign
like
it
a
right
Comic-Con style, like someone's dressed up as Knoxy
Recreated.
with
Yeah.
the highlight.
I'm-
What would be
Imagine
great
you're
too
over-
is like a picture on the the interweb shows up and it's like someone shadow boxed the robotic hand. It's like on their wall.
And the inanimate object all of a sudden has its own focal point, like it's a comic book hero.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes,
exactly.
what would be fantastic is if every year at SEMA it was passed on to the next.
Like the baton.
Yeah, like the
Or
baton.
Like
if
a
you're
torch.
at the concession stand and grabbing some of those, $35 chicken nuggets for
Yeah.
3.
Use the scoop.
No, all of a sudden you're not even expecting anything, and the robotic hand comes out and grabs one from you and then just disappears
That's it.
into the crowd.
KXK.
Boop, chicken nugget.
So, if you're wondering about what we're talking about, you haven't seen obviously the video yet, but hopefully you maybe saw some of the antics on our Instagram stories and photos. So, Andy, you had to handicap yourself,
I did.
and the goal of it was to be like Jason.
Right, when it came to having the same limitations that Jason
Well,
has,
similar,
similar on a day in, day out basis, obviously with a massive exaggeration
Yes.
with props, but to kind of even the playing field before we went
Yeah.
toe to toe.
Because we had
and
talked about
started the
tying
challenge.
an arm around your back, but
Yeah.
Jason has use of his arm,
Yeah, absolutely.
is limited, but it was, so you duct taped a robotic grabber hand.
Right, but that wasn't chosen by me.
No,
That was
but
chosen by the KXK
Crazy man.
Dynamics creative department, which is
and the janitorial department.
And the
Yeah,
janitorial
it's a
that
very
clean poo.
multifaceted role.
Come up with ideas.
Wears a lot of hats.
He's like
Right.
creative floor mopper.
Yeah.
And so we went into the Rite Aid in Boise, and we just kind of said, Aaron,
Knoxy, go.
Yeah.
here's full reign. Kind of pick out a prop for myself and him, and then we were having a little bit of difficulty at first, but I knew Aaron would definitely reign supreme sooner or later.
By the way, it's a blessing for me when my bigger brothers allow me to have free reign, because it doesn't come very often, because they're afraid that things will catch on fire or whatever.
Complete
yeah.
And I think we
inappropriateness.
initially started, which I thought it would have been good, but I actually couldn't fit it onto my hand, was a little pink catcher's mitt.
Oh,
or
yeah. I found him a youth baseball mitt that was pink, and I was like,
Right.
like a little clam hand.
So I was sitting there trying to. I really wanted that pink baseball glove to be my my sword in the battle.
It naturally
but I just
gravitated towards
couldn't.
it.
We
I
tried.
couldn't do it,
We
and then all of
tried.
a sudden, like out of my peripheral vision, came the
claw.
robotic hand,
Strong hand.
and that's when I knew it was love at first sight. And this is my definitely weapon of choice in the battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had the eye patch and the robot hand.
Eye patch in the robot hand, and then while Aaron was kind of over in another section, I found his weapon of choice. So I actually, even though he started the creative
Yeah.
juices flowing, and
You were able
then
to bounce off of that one.
Right, I
Absolutely.
bounced off of
Absolutely.
it,
Inspiring.
Yeah. and then I
Absolutely.
just found I thought initially as kind of like a lobster claw. That's what I was really going for, and then have the interactivity of having someone else, aka a referee, with the same said lobster claw. But then we came to find out that it was an actual sport.
It is an
in
actual
Idaho.
sport
Was
in
that
Idaho.
was it born and raised in Idaho?
No, so that's from the Basque Country,
Okay. What's
which is
the Basque
where
Country?
the Goitsper sprayers are made,
Okay.
manufactured.
It's an information highway. Open
Yeah.
them up. I'm learning.
So our friends at IK Sprayers, they are a Basque-owned company in the Basque Country of Spain, and the game is called Highlight,
Highlight. That's
and
it.
it's a a big scoop and a ball, and you basically can throw it up. You play against each other. You can throw it up against a wall and have it bounce off the wall and
Right.
catch it in your scoop. And they actually, the real ones are like literally like on an arm, and like it's a full unit that like attaches to your arm and then has the big scoop, and those guys can throw some rocks pretty fast.
That was similar to what we did with Knox. He only duct taped it to his hairy arm, which was
we basically did that same thing.
Yeah.
So then you had the highlight scoop.
I did, and I'm a furry fellow.
Lost some hair.
When I have hairbrush arms.
Big ginger bear.
Right, I'm a big ginger bear. So the first comment that I make to Dane when we're on this endeavor to find just gold for this event, I requested black duct tape. Then I came to later regret that. So, needless to say, if you're lucky enough to end up with one of those props, you might have some ginger fur still attached to it.
Well, you're welcome.
Yes, you are welcome.
You can clone your own Nazi,
right?
Clone your own Nazi if you want.
Or just make a weird.
Which is hilarious because I swear to God, like if you look at the profile, I'm pretty sure I have like a cuff link of fur missing. So, but yeah, we wanted to impair one part of our one of our limbs because of Jason's capability of only really using one of his, and then we came up with the eye patches, which originally, like when we were talking about this, I envisioned like a pirate theme, and I wanted Dylan to have like one single pearl earring and pirate hats.
I'm sorry.
I just started getting kind of weird with that one, but we didn't have enough time, so we had to do what we could.
We improvised, but it came out great.
It came out fantastic.
It
Absolutely.
was still fun to watch.
Oh,
and
I'm sure.
And then Dylan, I, and David all had referee jerseys and whistles, which was a blast.
Yes.
And actually, we looked pretty dang good.
Very
I agree.
professional group
Right?
of referees, if I've ever seen them.
Like,
I woke up with sore face muscles.
From
By the end of the day, I was just like
From blowing whistles or calling penalties
Both.
or throwing flags?
laughing.
all of the above.
all of the above.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a blast.
Yeah, there was high-speed running. There was
Yeah.
lifting competitions. There was all
Drop
kinds
kicking hoods
of
on
drop
people's
kicking,
heads.
Yeah.
throwing rocks at each other.
Yeah.
It's great.
Wheelbarrow collisions.
Wheelbarrow collisions.
Running across the road.
Running across
Dodging
busy
traffic,
streets.
playing for,
With
playing
hoods.
Real life
soccer.
Frogger.
Yeah, real life Frogger.
Frogger.
So
Real
yeah,
life
no,
Frogger.
seriously though, so we got all you guys. You came back with your props and ready to go. We did our intro video of us as judges or as referees and judges in the white room, and then once you guys got suited up, we literally ran across the street
Yep.
to the junkyard.
And I won that too.
He won that.
Yeah, he's
Smoked
very
him.
He's
fast.
quick.
He's a quick
Really
little
quick
guy.
off the jump.
Right? He keeps
quick
saying he
little
has
guy.
one
Running
good
back.
leg,
Yeah.
but I don't think that's true.
Yeah, he
No.
proved to be that's bullshit.
So then we got to the junkyard. The Jalopy Jungle was gracious enough to allow all of us walking in the door in referee jerseys with cameras and
Dudes with eye patches.
and dudes with eye patches
Things
and
that are duct
things
taped to
duct
their
taped to their
limbs.
limbs.
Right.
So thank you to the Jalopy Jungle for allowing us to walk in because I don't think there's many junkyards that. Well, maybe a lot of junkyards don't mind that.
I've never tried this before.
They never have either.
It's highly unlikely I'll be trying it again
Yeah.
anytime
Yeah.
soon.
Well, I mean, and that's the whole thing when it comes to junkyards. They're used to seeing some pretty squirrely characters coming in there, but I think we definitely
set a new bar.
We were
did.
top three.
We
I feel
did.
like the
I
guy
guarantee
was
you-
questioning 911 when we ran.
Yeah, he was like,
Because
reach for the
like-
phone. He was like,
panicked.
Well,
like,
my feeble attempt to even engage with him, and he was decoration. Like he wouldn't budge. He was just staring at me, lost.
what do
Yeah.
you want?
He was
What
very
the hell is
confused.
this thing?
But he
has
did
taped on
give
his
us
hand?
$15 off each of those hoods.
Because he
Oh,
felt
did he? I
bad
didn't,
for
I
That
us.
was
didn't
very
even know
nice.
that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They're normally
Ooh.
about $40, and they gave them to us all for $25
Ooh,
a piece.
wee.
Jungle hooking it
So
up.
Jalopy Jungle
someone-
giving back
Flash
too.
sale.
It's great.
yeah, Jalopy Jungle. Thank you for giving back.
That's good. That's good.
But then we got to the junkyard, and we just let you guys run off with your ref. So
Yep.
I was with Noxie, David was with Jason, and Dylan was with Andy. And
Big
so
bald guy.
yeah, and so you guys went and found a hood. So what was going through your guys' minds when you were looking for the perfect hood?
Well, I mean, personally, I was just trying to be able to steer the wheelbarrow with an eye patch on. That was my first and foremost concern. So I wasn't going to trip over any of the gravel because, I mean, even when you're going in with both eyeballs open into a junkyard, you have to be careful that you're not going to trip and take off a foot or something like that. But when I got past that hurdle and I started combing the area. Well, I just wanted a hood that was, one, flat, didn't have too many angles on it, and then number two, it had had a darker color on it, because I just wanted to be able to show a drastic type of improvement with it. So we went with a Ford Explorer hood, red.
Yes.
That was a pretty color too.
It was.
That's a
It was
very
good.
nice color, actually.
You couldn't really see it with the smog on top of it, but
Under that layer of filth.
right,
Yeah,
it came
tremendous.
okay.
Yeah.
Noxy, what was going through your mind? I was just following you.
Yeah, so well, I mean, I'm with Andy on the wheelbarrow thing because I literally had a scoop attached to my left hand, so I'm not quite sure how that was going to work. And I went sideways out the gate with that thing ananyway, so we had to abandon that quickly.
I did help you though.
Yeah.
Like,
You were a great judge. You were
came over
very
and helped push
very
the
assisting. I knew my business partners were going to go with a softer manufacturer clear coat. At least in my brain, I knew they were going for Chevy or Ford.
And you were correct.
Yes, and so I wanted a German clear coat because it would visually be more impacting in my pathetic hopes to win. But little did I know, the Audi that I spotted was a pre-14, so it wasn't too hard to work with. But I think that clear was just a little too much with the amount of damage.
well, and it was an aluminum hood.
Right, so we wanted to cut down weight because, again, I had a scoop on my hand.
We had to carry it back across the street.
Right. So, and just putting that in the wheelbarrow was, it lasted 2 seconds. I just started dragging it, and then this little ninja popped up out of nowhere and drop kicked my hood.
I would say it was more like a flying karate chop.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it was an axe kick, and here my hood is face down in the gravel. So it wasn't a good jump. It wasn't a good start.
It caused a ton of hail damage in that matter of a second. It was like, oh my gosh.
And then, me having the scoop in my hand trying to pick it up, it just dropped it again. So I'm pretty sure that I put more damage in that hood than it had before we took it off.
After the winger came up and drop kicked it on the ground.
And then you guys hood kissed me with your hood and put a $50 shot dead center in it.
Punctured it. I love it, Mark.
Literally almost punctured it.
Punctured it.
And I can't believe that even blended. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I was. I just had tunnel vision on that one. I think Well, thanks, Judge.
David, Jason, what was going on?
Well, I knew I was going to win that part of the
We were pretty
competition.
confident straight out of the gate.
Because I know what my limitations are. So I X'd the wheelbarrow right
Yeah.
off the gate. And it was funny because Dave's like, oh, let me help. I'm like, just get out of my way. I know how to do this. So I just ratcheted it, ripped it off. I had it ripped off before those guys got to their hood.
He literally was.
It's in the middle of his. I look back, I see Killmer just running past. He's like, got it under his arm.
Yeah.
He's carrying the hood. Yeah, and all
Yeah.
these guys are like,
Yeah.
how do we carry
So
these?
they're
with
like,
one hand?
they went out the wrong way. They used the wheelbarrow, which I know all too well. That's not a good idea. with
It's
one
kind of a
hoof.
two-handed
Yeah.
deal.
Right.
He's like, I've never used one in my life.
So-
I know I can.
Knowing my limitations, I also looked for a hood with a hook on it.
Yeah.
So I could grab my good hoof on there, grab that sucker, and take it out. And it was aluminum, of course,
Yeah.
by chosen. So there's many things that you think of when you have limitations to negotiate. When these two yahoos didn't think about that.
No,
I'm
I was
like,
ready to just run through
yeah.
a wall. I
You
didn't.
carry Knoxie's back?
I
Or-
did
Yeah,
carry
you did
Knox's
carry
back.
So-
I showed him how to do
Well,
it.
it was, again, my gracious judge was so kind to point out that Killmer had already crossed the finish line and had already found some sort of delicious beverage by the time I think I got my first bolt off of this
He's
thing.
relaxing somewhere.
And of course,
Writing his memoir.
it's total chaos and pandemonium at this point, and I suppose I'm going to blame it on the adrenaline, but I stripped 2 of the bolts out of the 4 on my
I had to
hood.
go find a socket wrench.
Yeah, so my judge again comes into play and saves the day. So
I was like, oh crap, we're not gonna be able to get this hood up. We're gonna have to put another hood and start over.
yeah,
I mean, even trying to with the beautiful Husky tool
You're,
that we
you're
had,
welcome.
High quality.
even
kits.
trying to find the correct socket. I got really lucky the first one, and I just
Kept
grabbed the
getting
one that.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I didn't have sockets.
Yeah, we grabbed the bag that only
they're all
had
in our
wrenches.
bag.
Crescent
So we were like,
wrenches.
It won't be a pow-pow.
I was like, oh no.
Well, and he's sitting there. He's got the socket, so which was great. He's getting it done, and then he pulls it off, and the bolt is stuck in the socket, and he's hitting it on things, and we'll come out and it goes, well, okay. He goes to grab something else. Nope, wrong size. Nope, wrong size. Nope. So finally, I end up taking the socket, hitting it. It pops out. He does the next one, and the next one gets stuck. And he's with the robot hand over there doing this.
Yeah.
Obviously, the wrong size
Intricately remove a bolt out of the socket.
Close enough to work.
An upside down robot hand at
Yeah,
that.
I was so fixated on the actual bolt not getting stuck in the socket that I didn't notice how many more that I only had like maybe one left. So if Dylan didn't basically kind of give me a little bit of a hand, well, plus the robot hand. I definitely was holding there.
How ironic
But
is it that you just said a little bit of a hand?
But if I was just so fixated on it that Ford Explorer hood almost came crashing down on the old bald noggin.
Yeah,
You know,
saved life.
Yeah,
and,
you did save my life.
and the real funny thing is, they use their other hand. I literally put my right hand behind my back as I was ratcheting it, and then I held my hand against the windshield, and I basically just took the thing up myself with my one arm. They actually used their other arms.
Rub it
Yeah,
in.
I was
Yeah,
trying to
help
help
with our
something
judges.
shoulder.
Just had to
I mean,
put that in,
I was at such a loss with my scoop that I was contemplating using one of my feet somehow, and that probably would have gotten really weird.
Well, we kind of had the same idea as Andy, so we got what do we have, a full-size Chevy hood?
Something like that.
Yeah, big, flat, light.
Lightweight. Again, using the old noggin.
Yeah, my first thought was a small, like one of the newer Honda hoods because they're so
Yeah.
short. So I figured less surface area.
No,
It's like
no.
golden
That was
for
the
an
first
hour.
one we found. We were at the gate, right where we were supposed
Yeah,
to
you
be.
guys were paying the tab before we even picked out
So
a wheelbarrow.
it's crazy because I almost went that route,
Yeah.
and I told
You
Levi, I
should
was
have.
like,
Where's the
well,
Hondas?
no. So I did. I was like, we're the Hondas. We're the Hondas, right?
Yeah.
Easy, clear to work
soft,
with,
clear.
soft, clear to work with. Usually have a good amount if you can catch them new. But then I realized that these are vehicles that are sitting out in exposed sun, and the one notorious thing about Honda is crow's feet after heat induction, excessive heat induction. So I knew with dust on it, you can't do a real
can't
thorough
see it.
inspection, and then the next thing you know, I've got crow's feet everywhere, and I lost before I
That's
even...
what happened to my little S10 hood that I found. I was like, oh, this is like the only good red hood
Right.
I've done. And then we got it back, and I had wiped it, and I was like, yeah, it looks pretty good. And then got it back to the shop here, and went to wash it. I was like, oh, this is all crow's feet.
Yeah, so that's
Bummer.
definitely why we went with pre-14.
Once again, that's what you get for thinking too much.
I know.
That was the number one thing I looked for is because we couldn't wipe it. One of the rules was we couldn't wipe
Yep.
the hood
Yeah.
or whatever.
You
we
can't
were grabbing.
pre-inspect. Yeah.
So just trying to look through to make sure there was no failure.
The funk. There was a
Yeah.
lot of funk on mine, and I knew that was good because it was there for
Yours
a while.
looked like it had
so it was protected.
harbored
Yeah,
a
it was
number
like a
of
wax
cats.
layer.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Cats had been birthed.
Yeah.
in that hood.
You're exactly. Cats
Many
had
cats.
been. There's vile kitty things going on that hood to create more
That was
kitties.
the spot in the junkyard for the cats
Yeah.
to get busy on.
Getting
that.
busy. They were knocking kitty boots on that hood.
was my
I've never seen
hood.
so
Yeah.
many cat scratches in one spot.
Cat scratch fever they had.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
No, and then we got them loaded. Then we got them across the street.
Well,
we literally stopped traffic.
Yeah, but let's go after that. So, Knox's shoe laces were undone.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so we have to explain that. So these two chuckleheads, one was using one arm, the other one was using the other arm, trying to tie Knox's shoes.
Team tie.
Right.
And I said, no, you guys are thinking
Too much.
not correctly.
No.
So I showed them how to use your teeth to tie your shoe.
Which I'm a rather
Large fellow.
large fellow and furry again. So me getting down to that level, like I'm just not that flexible. Plus, I mean, you're surrounded with a bunch of dudes, so the jokes that would have come from that would have been atrocious. So there was no
You're right, they
teeth.
would have been, yeah.
I was blessed by one of the crew, the Rad Company, helping me out there on that one.
But it
That
was
was
funny
nice.
nonetheless.
Oh yeah.
And it blows your mind too, like
Yeah.
like we were talking about earlier, like this the simple stuff, like if you're impaired or working with any sort of disability, like the littlest things that on our day to day that we take for granted, like it just blew my mind. Like when my shoe came untied, like my mind shut down. I did not even know how to process that.
Yeah.
Because I could not think my way into that situation. And then like at some point I was trying to do it with my right hand and I was borrowing Andy's other right hand and I forgot how to tie my shoe.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know how to bunny ear, like all that was gone.
Because you couldn't.
Yeah, it was
Then
gone.
Wingy's on a phone call with his wife and texting on his
Hold
other
the
phone.
phone.
Going in. Hey guys, let me show you how to do
Yeah,
this.
running
And then
around
just
the junkyard.
ties his shoe with his teeth. He's like, all right, I'll see you in the junkyard.
Scuffs his feet at us and kicks up rocks.
Bunny ear.
Yeah.
No, it was impressive. And then, then we had to carry those hoods across the street.
Right.
and
Across traffic.
A busy
across
street.
a busy street,
Yeah.
5 lanes,
Yep.
Right.
and we stopped traffic.
No, the
And
lady
apparently-
put on her 4 ways.
I know that was very nice
Well,
of her.
that's because
Extremely nice.
Also
I'll-
a little bit freaked out.
I'll have
Yeah.
you know this because my judge and I were brave enough to venture into the
we
suicide
said,
lane.
let's go suicide lane. and do this.
It
Someone's
looked
gonna
extra
stop.
strange, so people felt bad for us.
Do you think the reason that she stopped was because she saw a band of pirates crossing the road, or
With
was
referees, yeah.
Band of pirates and
scared,
referees,
or
was like,
just
oh.
embarrassed for
Well,
that?
it was April
this is
Fool's.
kind of
And
So-
one yielding a fluorescent yellow scoop on his hand, as a flag.
A similar reaction to the guy at the junkyard, except
Yeah.
they were protected. They were in their car.
Yeah.
right.
So,
They were like, oh, let them do what they
Yep.
I
want.
like to imagine the conversations those people had when they got to where they were going. Like, I saw the weirdest thing.
I
Imagine
Yeah,
the conversations they're still having.
Well, you guys were
I
doing
don't know
your
what I saw.
introductions at Freak Alley Gallery
Oh, boy.
downtown,
Yeah.
and
Same
people
thing.
were
Yeah.
walking over because they were like drawn like moths
No,
to the
I don't know
flame.
about
No,
walking
no,
over.
they
They were
weren't
definitely
walking
running
over.
away when that was happening.
I was watching while you guys were doing it, and they
One came back.
yeah, they were peeping across the street, and then so we stopped them dead in their tracks from a good 30 foot out, and they're staring at us like they have just seen Bigfoot consuming a cupcake. Right now, they want to see what flavor the cupcake is.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that we were filming you, so it was going to be delicious and vanilla.
Right.
Real vanilla.
But so they cross
Really
the street, and then they stand there awkwardly and stare at you, and
But
then it was almost like they had to find a reason to cross by us.
Just to check it out a little
Yeah,
closer.
and then come
Trying,
back
like,
again.
looking but not looking.
Right, exactly. Like, I see you, but I don't see you, but I
Don't
want
make
to
eye
see
contact.
you.
Don't make
yeah,
eye contact.
Exactly.
And then there was like a crazy old cat lady that would be, I guess, deemed by society that a crazy one, right? And she's like kind of waddling past, and she sees it. She kind of like, kept on like waddling past us. I don't know if it was the claw or the highlight scoop.
It was
or
a highlight
just
scoop, I'm
Me
pretty
kind
sure.
of bobbing and weaving as Dane's filming us.
so
Right.
regardless, you're saying the cat lady was scared of you.
I think she
the
was.
cat lady was definitely scared of
I'm
us.
not
Well,
sure. She
she
might have
was
been putting out a
scared.
cat call
Yeah.
for you, too.
Entirely
Yeah.
She definitely felt better about it.
She definitely felt
It's
better.
like one of those bald kitties. Those weird ones.
Hairless cats.
I wonder how many times you guys showed up in other people's Instagram stories.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like, wait, hold on.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You get
Too
picked up by
funny.
some weird Chinese game show or some
Yeah.
Japanese game show, not even know it.
Probably.
Some video in a completely different language. You're like, what are they saying?
So then we got back across the street and
Finally.
made it
Finally.
finally. We carried those hoods all the way
All
across,
the way.
all through the parking lot
That's
and
when
into
I
the thing.
detonated Knox.
Yeah, you guys snuck up.
Carefully.
We weren't paying attention. We were just working on trying to get it across the parking
road.
lot. And
And
down
not
the-
me. I'm thinking sabotage
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
Secretly, Levi, I think, and I were both in that internal struggle in your brain, like when you're excessively working out, like, how much longer can I put up with this?
Yeah.
How much longer can I go? You
I was
know,
breathing a little heavy.
we'd only made it like 5 feet.
I was a little winded, safe to say.
There was some running, some light
There was some
jogging.
light
involved.
jogging and running involved. I was carrying a sack of tools as well, so I had a good 30 pounds on me.
Not exactly the
top of
best
that.
shape of my life at this
Right.
point. So
Right. I've been eating a lot and traveling. I have not hit the gym in a while.
the job involves a lot of sitting and talking.
So I've been missing my spin classes. So, but yeah, we all of a sudden we felt a little bump to
Little
the,
love tap.
to the hood.
Little love tap. Yep.
And,
Almost lost the hood again
Yeah, that was, we're like,
on
guys,
concrete.
and then we noticed quite possibly nearly a puncture wound from the slightest tap.
Little scrape.
Slightest tap of the hood.
And we could start by saying that Noxie's hood was the best one, and hands down by the time we started the actual process,
The
it
worst
was the
one.
worst.
Yeah.
one. Hands down the
Yeah.
worst.
Yeah. Multiple different moments of sabotage, for sure. When it came off the car, I was feeling good. I was definitely feeling good.
Yeah, it was a nice
And all
hood.
we had to do was make it across the street and get it on a hood stand, and
Harder
that failed
said
epically.
than
Say there's probably about 25 dents that got
Implemented into that
implemented
on
into
its
by the time
journey.
we made it to the
No.
hood stand.
Your hood was so nice that we contemplated getting another one. We actually walked
Yeah.
back out, but
Well, see, that's what happens when you take your time, or when you just strip bolts. But I'm gonna go with taking time.
But we got the hoods, and then we did our inspections on them with all of us, and then we did have to incur some penalties, which were some key marks, which I have to say, they came out. All the key marks we put in all
Yeah.
came out.
It blows
So-
my mind. Yeah, so it blows my mind that I got terrorized the most on the way there, and I still got the most penalties out of everybody.
Right? That was weird. I don't
No.
understand.
I don't know how that worked
I
out.
still got had the
Now
most
again,
sabotage
David
on top of
Patterson
it.
told you that his cheeks hurt, so I'm pretty sure he was primarily blowing his whistle the most.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Dylan threw a flag at my head
Multiple times.
multiple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we started and got
Pure
everything lined out.
pandemonium for the
And
first
it
five
was
really big
Absolutely.
minutes.
You guys are gonna have to watch it because it was absolutely insane.
Indescribable at a certain extent.
Yeah. At one point,
I blacked out a little bit.
well, and at one point, Andy, you got a money shot with some compound.
Oh, I got more than a money
More than a
shot.
money
He got a money shot.
Multiple money shots.
So Andy, I think it was probably like you said, the first 5 minutes.
And I would say, the first 5 minutes was more of like a food fight than really.
Well, no,
It was more of a food
so
fight.
that's the thing. You think there was a complete strategy to that, and I said, if he can't see, he can't buff. In his face. Yeah.
Even Dane, when he was filming, he was talking to us last night that he was like preparing to dip and dodge when it came to
Stuff flying around.
Stuff flying around,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Didn't know what was going
Yeah,
on.
I was just hoping that the glass shelves on the back wall weren't
Yeah.
going to break. Because Jeff just got those put up like 2 weeks ago and was very excited to have those available. We'll say
Well,
he's
I
been
kinda
waiting a couple
sensed that
years. So
Knoxy was going to be doing more of like a flying karate chop kick.
yeah,
To get back at Jason. So I did before we
contemplated
started
that.
filming. I said, Knoxy, there's a lot of expensive gear back there.
careful.
Keep the Street
Yeah.
Fighter kicks to a minimum.
No
please.
kung fu. It was a
Yeah.
kung fu.
Well,
free
so
zone.
at first it was 1 foot, and then I was like, well, what's better than 1 foot coming at your hood? Two. So, but yeah, that went south. So,
And
But it was
I
still-
doubt that you have the vertical leap ability, though.
so I was sure as shit gonna try though.
Would have been impressive.
it was impressive.
Look at that
to watch.
chunky ginger dude flying through the air.
Maybe it would have been better. Maybe a belly flop.
Yeah.
That would have been
I
pretty
can
epic.
do.
But it was fun to watch because there was sanding blocks, there was wrapping paper,
Mhm.
there was the highlight ball, the wiffle ball,
Absolutely. Yeah, sanding
Go
blocks
back
were
and
being
forth.
thrown,
Yeah.
Gallons
There
of
was
compound.
gallons of compound
being
flowed.
poured. The compound was a flowing.
Compound was a flowing. The sanding scratches that were being
Induced
by
into my
razor
hood multiple
blade
times.
that were going into the
So when
Impressive.
when your hood gets double tapped with 600 by Jason Killmer in the same spot over and over again, you have a tendency to want to throw in that
Two
towel
to the chest.
and just start throwing things. So that's essentially what happened.
But
because they did
also,
start messing with each other. So
I
it's-
didn't lose focus. I was still
You're still running the
buffing my
buff.
hood, and then I
One-handed.
karate chopped his hood.
He's
almost
running a
kicked it off the
rotary full
stand.
speed, a Rupes rotary full speed,
Not even looking.
while he's kicking me and throwing things at me. And he only has ability with half of his body. So I want you guys to, if I just melted your brain, go ahead and think about that one more
And
time.
then after he gave you your couple of knocks, then all of a sudden, his
Well,
left
he's
leg
gotta
started
get the
kicking
princess.
more
Just
my way.
flailing.
Had to get
in
you.
the middle, yeah. And my head started flying all
There
over
was
the
a
place.
point where I turned around backwards so you could see the KXK on my back, and I was buffing backwards.
Like Achilles of detailing, pretty much. And so at that point, I think after you double tapped my hood with 600,
After it was finished.
exactly. I
I mean,
He
went
was
Well,
finishing
Sandy.
out with some 3,000.
Yeah.
It was looking really sharp.
getting ready to go in with the rotary.
And
Yeah,
again, my depth perception
had to
since
go.
I knew, again, senses.
Right.
I knew you were finished with it, so I was gonna.
Yeah, so he knew I was taking a technical approach, and I hand scuffed 15 to get the key marks out. Just go ahead and address those quickly, and then I saw the Rupes DA polisher.
Triple action.
Pneumatic,
Yeah.
the triple action, yeah. So luckily a piece of 6-inch Trizac hook and loop,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm just gonna DA this hood. I'm gonna put
And
a
you
nail
got
in
a
the
penalty
coffin.
for it.
No, it was a
I thought it was a buffing pad, so I blew the whistle. It was a piece of sandpaper.
it was a piece of sandpaper, so it's still in the game. And then I think that's when you realized that I was taking
I knew.
the good approach to get
It
the
was.
quality
It
results.
was.
So that's when the 600 came into play.
It was literally
Yeah.
just Jason screaming with the 600 going,
Yeah.
ah!
Yeah, Hellraiser my hood.
Yeah. With
So,
no real
so I,
pattern.
I restart that again, and then he hits me. And
It's
then
like
he,
giving a 6-year-old some sanding paper and saying, "Go scratch up that hood."
It was
That's what
actually worse
Jason-
because I know how to inflict real damage.
exactly, yeah, exactly, and he
what I
did,
normally do.
and he did twice. But after the second time, I gave up on on the event and life a little bit, and I went into full cholo mode and went and got a razor blade, and I caught you, Holmes.
Yeah, you did.
So
You did. But
yeah.
you could put a good logo in there, though.
I did. I put a KXK logo in your hood, and you know this is the again. It's just you have no win with you because you grabbed a we didn't even have. I didn't even know we had 600. I don't think we did. I think you were cuffing it in your pocket secretly,
Sleeping with it.
yeah, you had it in your
pillow.
prison wallet or something,
Like a
you
tooth
know.
waiting for the secretary.
and all of a sudden, 3/4 of this razor bladed image in this hood are gone
And not burnt through.
and not popped through. And I'm like, I can't win with this dude. So I gave up. I just started throwing stuff at Andy again.
Yeah, and then you know
That was my
when
only
they
hope.
realized that there was another individual, the bald guy team.
We were flying under the radar.
Right, then all hell broke loose over there. So I was just I started to get completely fixated on my hood. I knew kind of what was going on. I saw a lot of things flying our way.
Tunnel vision.
Then all of a
vision.
sudden I like creep around to the front of the hood, and then I see like Eron coming in with that pneumatic with the Trizec on there, coming in like Thor.
And you know the best
onto our
part is that
hood.
you're already in the DA option,
Yeah,
setting up for your
he's-
finished
yeah,
polish.
he's
You
already
had
done.
killed it. You were killing it. So I'm like, no, that's not definitely.
And
not
then
it.
Winging came
I just
in,
got double
and then
tapped with
he
600. That's what happened.
then he also double
Or,
tapped me
yeah,
with 600.
More random sandmarks. Yes.
Well, I
Randomly
tried to confiscate the 600,
Yeah.
Kept finding its way back.
I was looking for.
but Noxie had many pieces hidden all over his body.
Yeah.
So
Oh, Jason
I-
did.
Killmer.
Killmer.
So that's what
That's what I mean. Yeah,
that's
Killmer
what I was
had it.
saying. I felt like he had them stored in his prison wallet. Like
Yeah,
I didn't know.
He did. Like, he was like, I thought I had retrieved all of them. I even hid the 600. But he
I
was.
just killed Dylan.
He was pulling them out of his dispenser. He had a 600
He did.
dispenser.
But
his
let's
rear
face
dispenser.
it, the most funniest part when I took a bottle of hyper compound and I flung it at Andy at his
Oh,
buffer. So
dead.
the original idea was, okay, if I fling it sideways and it hits the exact rotation, it's gonna fling off and hit you guys. Well, I did one step better because that's what I do.
Caught on the
Because I'm the king.
Yeah.
It caught on the spindle and
Of this
just kept
rotary.
on going.
And kept so he threw it at the buffer, and just so everybody listening knows, it stuck around the
On the
spindle
spindle
of this rotary as this rotary's moving, and
Pretty
all
much
this
lassoed it.
So if
Couldn't
you're
go any farther with the rotary.
you know, we're
flat out.
you know, all the members of KXK were really close. We talk multiple times a day, and if you get the opportunity to do that with Andy Ward, there are certain tones that come out of this man that will immediately give you a sense of emergency or pure terror. And one of them is the squawk.
This was
And that's how I know when I'm terrorizing Andy Ward, I hear the squawk regularly. And wah! You know, and this is one of these things. He's doing this while this damn thing is still spinning.
rotating.
Brings a whole new meaning to picking up a bead.
Yeah, it does.
As it was throwing
Yeah, spring
polish.
polish.
Spraying
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Yeah,
polish.
spraying polish everywhere.
And the
Yeah.
camera just happened to be right there. That was
Right.
perfect.
And it's like one of those
Amazing.
moments when if you're to lose your brakes coming down a mountain pass, you really don't know
This
what to
way.
do anything other than scream and just hold on.
Trying
So
to Flintstone
I kind
yourself
of
to
blacked
the
out. I
floor.
didn't know, you know, I didn't. I
Because
if
people would
anything,
say,
I
why
hold
don't
on
you
the
take your
trigger
foot off the
harder.
brake? Yeah, you just
Yeah, he basically had a whiskey throttle for a rotary. He couldn't let go of it. So you see those people that just, you know, wob themselves up on motorcycles, and
Go
this
in
is
the back of a car
yeah,
and
this is
keep
what's
going.
going on with a rotary.
put the brakes on or let go of the throttle.
Why don't you just release that trigger there, Andy? You know, like he was being electrocuted. It was amazing.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, it was definitely great.
But it was a blast.
hands down some of the most fun that I think we've had in a minute.
Yeah,
A good
absolutely.
And it's going to a good cause too. So that there's nothing really better than that kind of situation. I don't think.
No, I think it was fun. And the fact is, like, I think, and Dylan and I and David were all talking about this, like, I wanted to throw down with you guys in there.
Oh, so hard.
Yeah,
not to
yeah.
get
So
involved.
hard.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, let me go grab. I'll just grab something. I'll just get in there with you. Like, that was the hardest thing, was not being able to assist, but also like just the sheer fact of how much fun that actually looked. Like, to just
Not
get
want to
three
throw
junkyard
something
hoods-
at somebody.
Not even that. Just 3 junkyard hoods and like, let's just
Yeah.
play.
Let's do it again.
Get
Let's
weird.
just get
Let's
crazy with
grown
some.
men having a contest on free junkyard hoods.
Yeah.
That's like throwing down. I mean, that's some old school like fun.
Yeah.
It really is, and it's all really good fun. And it was funny because I've got an eye patch on, so I've only got one real good eye, and I'm trying to keep it on this rotary. But I keep seeing Dylan and Levi, walking by my hood like sharks in water, and I could tell at some point I was either going to get raped or they were going to start sanding on the hood and buffing. So I was glad that it was the second. That they...
Are you though?
I mean, we're on a show.
No, but it was rad, and it was also fun to watch the three of you come at the hoods differently.
Sure.
Yeah,
Like that's
sure.
what we noticed.
Yeah,
was
yeah.
watching the three different techniques that you guys all hit on a junkyard hood.
I don't know if you guys picked up on it, like looking at the event while we were doing it too. But I said this last night. Like, we at one point, all three of us at the exact same time was like, all right, it's time to stop messing around, and like we just honed in on that. It was like that was the only thing going on. And there's camera. I mean, 6, 7, 8 cameras running around you, multiple people walking by you, and that's, like I said, I'm pretty sure I blacked out. Like, I have no idea what was going on besides that moment in the hood. And I look over, and you two were doing the exact same thing at the exact same moment. It was really cool.
Yeah.
It was a super, super cool thing.
Yeah, it was rad. And it was fun to see Connor Harrison in the background. In case you were watching that was him going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
But
He's pooping.
yeah, but having Connor in the background, just drinking beer, watching.
Drinking beer, yeah.
Hanging out.
You guys don't want me in there now. Oh, don't make me put this beer down.
But it was fun. No, and it's one of those that, like, I hope next year more people will want to volunteer.
Sure.
To be a part of it, or
Absolutely.
to be a competitor of it,
Yeah.
or heck, maybe we have 6 competitors.
Well, and
Or-
the cool thing too is, like, with these companies that are involved, like, the creative part of that is so genius. Like, listening to ideas that come out of your mouth, or listening to ideas that come out, or like, oh well, it takes 3 of us to have a good idea. But in the way that it just kind of morphs and turns into this thing,
Yeah.
and how amazing it is, because it's not scripted. It's not, okay, you're going to do this. You're going to Indiana Jones some compound right onto his buffer, and it's going to stick and sling everywhere.
No,
Like,
it was
all,
let it go.
let it rip,
It was running gun.
And
Yep.
that what comes from those situations, I personally find, are always like the best
Yeah.
things. And then it goes, like, at the very end, we're buttoning all of this up and we're donating to charity.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't get any better than that. There's maybe some donuts involved, some sandwiches, because I'm a chunky fellow. So, but that whole thing, and like us having such a short period of time,
Yeah.
that you said, and we came up with all of that, and it transpired into what it was. Imagine, we have an entire year.
Oh yeah.
Now,
Yeah, we
to
only
get other
started
maybe
doing that about what,
maybe
like
get
30
more
days ago?
companies
Yeah,
involved,
less than-
or
yeah,
more
less than a month ago.
competitors. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
The sky's the limit with this. So
Yeah.
I'm super stoked about it.
But the most important part is that it really doesn't matter who wins or loses. It's all
good fun.
about
Fun
going for a great cause and
Yeah.
for having a lot of fun with it.
for fun, for sure. The fun part was, I mean, this is. I was telling him, I was like, this is one of those life things. Like you're 20 years from now. God,
Yeah.
if I make it that
Sure.
long, but you're like, oh man, we went to we had
Remember
all
we
of
did
our
that?
boys at the
Remember the
rag
one-wing
company,
challenge?
and it's like that's your happy place at times, like when things are getting
You know,
tough.
it was hilarious, and it was weird to go like, I can't believe we're doing all this stuff.
I can't
Like,
believe this is actually happening.
actually doing this. Like,
There's
we're
literally
about
that
it,
much
but
chaos
we're
going on.
doing it.
Yeah, we're actually
Well,
making this happen.
I had a vision in my head of like what it was going to be. When you first explained it to me, I was like, okay, I got to
This
move
is
some stuff
crazy,
around. I'm going to
yeah.
get there. I got to make this happen. I'm canceling vacation plans and changing flights to get there.
So great.
But I knew it was going to be
Thank
funny.
you, Amanda, for letting Dylan do
Yeah,
that.
thank you, man.
Wonderful.
I've
And-
never
and-
met you, but he's told me that you're beautiful and lovely and graceful in every way.
Thank you for that.
Happy wife, happy life, baby.
Here's a 20. But like it ended up being more than what I knew it was gonna be funny. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
obviously we knew we were
yeah.
gonna all get together and just have a blast doing this, but it went places I did not expect it to go.
Yeah.
Just the things that
Likewise.
happened, like you're saying, like not
Yeah.
scripted at all. The fact that it just came together and went, it's just filming what we did. Had there been no cameras there, it would still have been hilarious. Now we just
Yeah.
share it with everybody. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the
it's
best
gold.
part.
It's absolute gold.
I was
Absolutely.
dying just after the intros.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is
It can't
this
get any
is
rowdier
on
than this.
fire. This is on fire, and we didn't even begin the
Well, it was.
mayhem.
I got to see it. I was privileged. I got to see a short clip of the judges lining up, and all I see, David, is you like doing spirit fingers, and Dylan's like, I'm pretty sure Omo Magato, Mr. Roboto in this, and it's like, dude, the way that this is cranking up, I'm loving it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think they're going to shoot the intro style video game.
Oh, this is gonna be
Kinda
so
style.
good too.
Yeah,
They're
arcade style.
Yeah, pick your player. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna Street Fighter. I'm Vega. because he had the
Okay.
claw thing.
Yeah,
You know,
I can see that.
that's at least what I saw in my mind.
Do those
You even-
backflips that Vega used to do too?
Yeah,
That
You
ain't
pulled out
happening.
your inner Street Fighter.
Yeah.
you
I
did.
did.
Yeah.
Well, if I would have kicked his,
You did it.
I
couple
believe I did hear an
Hadoukens.
Ayuk it.
I did. No, I was
there,
throwing
right?
Arukins. Yeah, I was. I was. I
yeah.
threw a
It
couple
was
of
Street
them.
Fighter, just a different kind of Street Fighter.
Yeah,
The wrong
It's
character.
more just Street Fight.
Yeah. A ginger Ryu.
You see him in the background spinning around doing uppercuts.
I get my own hood.
Noxie.
Oh, look, he beat up his own hood again.
Well, and the best part is like you guys can all have this kind of fun by just going to the junkyard with some buddies and playing with some products.
Be safe, guys. Be safe about
Yeah.
it.
Do it on an eye patch and
Yeah.
look hand. That'd be
Right,
great.
yeah, use both eyes and both hands.
But
Don't
bring
run across.
sockets.
it
Don't
will be
cross the
fun
street,
if we
yeah.
keep that
Yeah.
same premise of getting junkyard hoods, having to disable some people
Well,
to do that.
as it gets
Random terrorism.
bigger and better, I necessarily don't think that we should all be having kind of like a Frogger event going across this
True.
route. That could be a
I
massive
think that's
liability.
probably not going to be. Let's say we have
Imagine
6
30
competitors last
30
year.
people. Let's just
That
say
would not be
30
good.
people walking
Yeah.
across there.
Yeah,
mean,
let's. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll
be
probably
more
use.
like a railroad crossing.
Well,
than-
we'll use the actual.
crossing.
We'll walk
So
down and
you
actually
have a
use the
road shut
crosswalk.
down.
Well, I
a
mean,
little
if
safer.
it gets if it gets big enough, we can have the police just shut down that road.
Yeah.
for
Oh,
that's a
second,
great
so we
idea.
can run across
Yeah.
it.
But then then there's a 5K added, and you have to run a 5K while carrying your hood through downtown
Yeah.
Boise.
Yeah,
or
all
something.
right. That's not. I will not be participating in that.
Well, awesome guys. Well,
Yeah, we better wrap this up because Dylan has to catch.
Dylan's got to catch a plane here.
dude.
So I want to thank all of you for tuning in and listening. I want to thank the guys at KXK for being here.
Pleasure.
Lake Country
Pleasure.
and Rupes for all throwing in on this. It's been so much fun. We hope you guys enjoy it. Check out the video. And then when the video actually launches, we are going to be releasing the Andy Ward kit, the Aaron Knox kit, and the Jason Killmer kit, which is all the tools and products that they used, as well as some of the prostheses involved. But they're going to go on eBay. You're going to get a chance to bid on them. You're hopefully going to get a chance to win them. And then all the proceeds are going to a good cause. What's the name of the charity?
United Cerebral Palsy.
United
awesome.
Cerebral Palsy is going to get the
That's
revenue
awesome.
from it. So thanks again for listening. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. If you're listening to this on the Rag Company podcast on iTunes, make sure you guys leave a comment and review for us. We really appreciate it. And, maybe put ooh-wee on there.
That's right.
As
Yeah,
your
we
comment.
love
That would be
feedback.
great. We would
Ooh-wee.
love that. And as always, guys, thanks for listening. And we'll see you next time.
Should we
Thanks,
finish this
guys.
off with a ooh-wee?
Ooh,
Let's
let's
finish
do
it
that.
up.
Do an ooh-wee there.
On
you
three?
Kick it
On
off.
three.
Kick it
An
off,
ooh-wee
Max.
on-
Ooh, we on 3. 1, 2, 3.
All right. See you guys.